Alright. So, the ship is mostly undisturbed as the night goes by, except for one thing. Flynnigan. Flynnigan is
Oh.
tossing and turning in his bed. It seems that he is having a nightmare.
Flynnigan wakes up, he's like drenched in sweat, like visible armpit stains, you know? And
The whole shebang.
he's racking his brain, and he's thinking and thinking, and it looks like something clicks in his head. And he starts scrambling to his desk and flipping through a bunch of books and stuff, grabs a bunch of books, runs out the door, and starts pounding on Lahstiel's bedroom.
Then you wake up, Nickelmere.
Oh, frick!
So, okay. So, I just wake up to commotion?
Yeah.
Okay, so I just like get scared and jump up, and I'm like, huh, what's going on? And then I run to the door and open it, and I'm like,
Don't
What's
worry
are
about
you
that,
okay? What's
Lahstiel. I
happening?
could do that
Ah!
for you.
So okay, wait. This is what happens. So, Flynnigan pounds the door. I like jump up and I'm like, ah! And then I run to the door, and then the AI is like, blah blah, and I'm like, ah! I'm not used to that either. I'm like, what's going on?
You see a very small boy at your door. His hair is very greasy and gross, and he has armpit stains, and he's holding a bunch of books, and he's just staring at you. Flynnigan just goes, Lahstiel, you need to follow me.
What's going on? Are you okay? What happened?
Yes, you just hold on, follow me.
Okay.
And so goes to the dinner table. He like swipes anything in his way and plops the books down.
So, I think that's the point where I come out of my room,
Yeah.
like, kind of run down the hallway, and just...
Guns out. You're ready.
I just got both pistols in hand. What's going on? Are we being attacked?
Lahstiel, she sees Nick with his guns, and she goes, ah!
Ah!
And Flynn goes, Nick, that won't be necessary. Just not yet. And so Flynnigan goes back to his books.
Not yet!
And so
The
he has
kind
two.
of sighs and just, like, tiredly puts his guns back in his holsters.
So
What's the big commotion?
Let me explain. So I had a nightmare, and it was about the god of Fenry. Have you guys heard of him?
What? Yes.
Yes.
What
You're
caused you to...
familiar? Yes. Okay.
Yes, unfortunately.
This was reason enough to get up and start banging on doors in the middle of the night?
Yes, it is.
Hey,
I would've forgotten.
Must be
Okay.
important.
So Flynnigan takes one of his books, and it's sort of like a theology book. It looks like a textbook of sorts, and he starts flipping through pages and stuff. So he's like, God of Fenry. What we know about him is that he's somewhere chained up in a different plane dimension of some sort. In theory, if the gods do exist, right? Okay, follow me.
Yes. Okay.
I grew up with this this nursery rhyme of sorts, but not really. It's the folk song to teach kids not to like mess with weird people because they could be the followers of the cult of Fenry, right? Well,
okay.
Words. Well, the thing is, in the song it talks about how Fenry is gonna come back for revenge. That's the name of the song. It's called Fenry's Revenge, and they talk about how he's like this horrible thing, and how he like embodies a wolf, and how he's super mean and evil, and it's like the god of betrayal, right?
Yes.
And how he's chained in the this plane, right? Well, in the second half of the song, it talks about how he's coming back, right? And that's why we have to be careful because, you know, someone could be possessed by Fenry and blah blah stuff like that, so we can't talk to strangers, blah blah. But the thing is, what if Fenry, the god of betrayal, escaped? If you think the gods are really real, Lahstiel, and they didn't just like go away or like never existed or whatever, what if Fenry came back and stronger than ever because he has followers on Earth? Do you see where I'm going with this?
Yes, okay, yes, I understand.
Because
It's okay. Hey. I put my hands on your shoulders and like, take a deep breath. Okay?
So what if the gods disappeared? Either because they went to attack, they went to try and chain up the other gods or whatever, like
I
try
bet
to
Flimmer interjects at this
capture
point.
Fenrir or whatever, and then they either died because Fenrir came back, and I.
Okay.
Nick-
Calm down. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Caleb.
Nick interjects and just sits down and starts just like trying to console him and just, it'll be fine. We'll get there when we get there.
Okay, but Flynnigan, what makes you think all of a sudden that he escaped?
Okay. Here. Okay, folks. Alrighty. Okay. I had a little run-in with the cult of Fenrir, right? And that wasn't too long ago, right? Okay. And we're not gonna question where this came from. Okay. Alrighty. So when I had this little run-in, they tried to brainwash me and were saying that they had signs that Fenrir was coming back, and now I'm really thinking he is, because all of the dots align, and I'm really scared now, because if the gods do exist, then he exists, and we're in big trouble.
Okay. Well, just to start out with, I know we talked before, and yes, at least I believe the gods are real. But if you go to any god's cult, they're all going to say that their god is alive and thriving, and even if they might not be. And I'm not saying that what you're saying is absolutely not correct, because unfortunately, I glanced over at Nick. We have had our fair share of run-ins with Fenrir. I can't say any of them were pointed anywhere towards him escaping, but I can say that he is real.
Yes, he exists.
He exists. But hey, earlier, I got sucked into another dimension with a statue of Fenrir, and hey, I came out alive. He wanted to kill me, but I'm alive. So, I mean, until we have anything really to worry about, any other signs that would really prove that he's roaming and trying to, cause destruction and everything, I think we're okay.
Are you sure?
Well, we can never really be sure about these kind of things, but I am sure that we're okay for now. And you also mentioned that they are not communicating because they're trying to put Fenrir back where he belongs, right?
Exactly.
Well, I've had the lucky chance to be able to kind of communicate with one of them recently. When...
Oh, so it is true.
Well, yeah, I could tell you about this. It's fine. We were exploring a dungeon and came across a long, mini-ish temple of different, like, pillars for each of the gods, and I said a prayer to Fawn at one of them, and she answered it, so that was pretty gnarly. So they're still communicating sometimes.
But not as often as they once have, right?
Yes, that's
And
correct.
why do you think that is? It's because he came back. It has to be. Why else would they leave?
Flynnigan, I can't say you're wrong because I don't know, but I just assumed it was because of the great destruction happening in the world at the time that they were like disgusted with all the wars and bloodshed.
They have every reason to.
Yes.
But didn't wasn't I didn't wars started happening because the gods left? They came before.
Before and after.
But statistically much more after the gods left, right? Like after the Great Schism.
Well,
At my school. Wait. Hold
Sorry,
on.
go ahead.
At my school. Before. Okay, wait. There's a tradition in industry where a group of students go to the Forge of Ignis, and that's why I was in the mainland and not in industry. And that's when we had the run-in with the cult of Fenry, but no one really knows the Forge of Ignis or why they would touch it, and no one knew that we would be at the Forge of Ignis unless they were from industry, which probably means that the cult of Fenry is on industry. And if we really want to get down to the nitty gritty, we'd have to go back to my home.
Okay, whoa. So, for your school trip, you went to basically a temple of Ignis?
Yes.
Yes.
It's where Gunter used to work.
Oh, okay. So you went there for
A school tradition.
is your school like a religious school for him?
What's that permission stuff?
Maybe. I don't really know.
Oh, okay. So you're saying you went there for a school trip and
Correct.
no one else should have known you were there, and for some reason the cult of Fenry was.
Yes.
Okay. Your other classmates, were they affected by the cult as well?
Yes.
Okay, so you're not the only one who's had a experience or is probably skeptical about Fenry.
I don't know.
Okay, fair enough. Is there any other reason that you're so adamant about coming back, so sure about it, about him coming back or having escaped?
Do you ever get that like gut feeling where you
Yeah.
know right in your large intestine that there's this is true? That's what I'm getting.
I see. I am a believer in following that feeling, so this concerns me.
However,
Yes.
sometimes this feeling may be tricking us.
That's true. I mean, we're not certain it's actually happening, but I mean, hey, I guess the best we can do is be prepared.
Right. The only thing we
Somehow.
can do is be aware at all times of what's going on.
Uh-huh.
And when something like that happens, we will be ready.
Yeah, we won't be taken by surprise now.
Got it. Okay, well, that was I don't know what to do with myself now.
Well, I do want to say thank you for telling me and waking me up. It was the right thing to do. So now that we know that this could very well be a possibility, I'm hoping that we'll be okay for some time, but I'm trusting that your judgment is correct, and from seeing your passion and intent with this, I think that we will take it seriously.
There's a bathroom up here. I'll make it after. But
Nice.
Flynnigan wants to go take like a shower or something. Get the sweat
Um,
off.
I would like to request that I did share a lot of my personal life and would like it to keep it between us, if that is okay.
About what you just told us?
Yes,
Absolutely.
Of course.
I appreciate that. I'm gonna go clean up because
Okay.
I feel very gross.
No problem. And Flynnigan,
Yes,
if anything like this ever happens again, or you have any questions, concerns, or whatever, just come get me, okay?
okay, I will.
Okay.
All right. Good night, guys.
Good night.
Good night,
Sorry
Flynn.
for the interruption.
It's okay. I'm glad you got me up.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, I would rather him have gotten me up and talked about it instead of him worrying all night about it.
Are you
And now
talking
we
to
know.
Nick Lemire?
Yeah. Sorry, I should have made that clear.
Well, he's a kid. What can you expect?
Yeah. Well,
I'm sure if I had that sort of dream, I would have been panicked too.
oh, yeah, me too.
Even now.
Yeah. That's true. I'm glad that we can provide some sort of what's the word? Oh, like advice for him.
Guidance.
I'm
Guidance.
glad he
Thank
could
you.
at- I'm glad he could at least feel safe with us.
Yeah, I agree.
One of Flynnigan's book is still on the table if you want to go, like, return that to his room or something.
Sure. I can do that. What time is it now, by the way?
It's like, well, according to the current
Oh, thank you.
temperature and to the sun, it is about 2 o'clock in the morning.
Nick
Let's
Lemire just kind
go
of puts his hand on the table, just kind of rubs his face, like
Yeah.
extremely tired.
Mhm.
Like, damn, only 2 o'clock in the morning.
I know. I'm wide awake now. I wish it was later.
Well, a bit of whiskey should knock me out.
All right. Just not too much. Be careful.
Well, you try and get some rest too.
All
Don't
right.
don't
See
worry,
you.
Lahstiel. I have been monitoring his BAC
Oh
at all
my
times.
God. Oh my God.
My what?
His
How
BAC,
does it
blood
know?
alcohol content.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
The whole ship is like a breath test.
Breathalyzer test.
It's just
Yeah.
a breathalyzer.
Oh my god. You cannot control ship unless you are sober.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
I am fine. No, but
All right. Well, get some rest, Nick.
same to you.
Okay.
Good night.
I go. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I just said good night. That's it.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go return Flynn's book.
Okay.
Am I allowed in the room?
Yeah.
Yes.
Give me
Okay.
a perception check.
Sweet. Boink.
Shayna, you can describe to Shayla what she sees.
Okay, so in the chest at the foot of Flynnigan's bed,
Mhm.
you see that some strange clothing is sticking out. And that if you look closer at the clothing, that there's pins attached to it, and they're metals, and there's 3 of them, and each are labeled if you want to take a look at the metals.
I'm gonna look close at them, but I'm not going to like touch it or anything or like go through his stuff.
Okay, on the first one, it has like a blue ribbon with it, and on the metal it says best linguistics.
Ooh, I'm intrigued now. Okay, you said there's 3.
Yes. And then on the second one, it has a green ribbon, and it says Spar Master.
Ooh,
And then
nice.
on the third one, it's a black ribbon, and it says Squadron Leader.
That's cool. So I'm guessing these are for like from his school. Is there anything else I see in Flynn's room?
The other stuff in the chest, the like the clothes the medals are attached to looks like some kind of uniform,
School uniform.
but it's more like a soldier uniform.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So
Uh-huh. Okay.
exactly.
Can I walk over to his desk and write a note?
Sure.
Okay. I write. I put his book on the desk, and then on top of the book, I have a note, and I write, "Thanks for sharing. Make sure to get some rest. See you tomorrow, or today." Smiley face.
Smiley face.
I'd like to imagine that Nick Lemire finishes like a second shot of whiskey just to ensure he goes down good. He gets up out of his chair and then he slowly goes over to Flynn's room, kind of like cracks open the door, peeks his head in, and says, "Hey, Flynn."
Flynn starts screaming. He's changing. Don't come in here. I'm naked. Don't.
Nick Lemire, in a panic jolt, like closes the door but leaves it cracked so that way he could like talk through the crack.
We won't do
Flynnigan throws on actual clothes and goes to meet Nick Lemire at the door. Yes, hello.
I'm sorry about that.
No, that's all good. It's fine.
What I meant to say before that, I just wanted to say that you're a good kid.
Thanks, Nick. I appreciate that. A good.
We're here for you.
Thank you.
I don't want you to feel any sort of insecurity around us.
All right.
Okay, you get some rest now.
You too.
Does he find Lahstiel's note?
Oh, I think so. He goes to like put his spell books away. I think
He
and
goes to
sees
lay
the
down.
little note.
He goes to lay down, and Mr. Flynnigan, I believe that Lahstiel left you a note on the desk.
Thanks, Mr. Crow.
Of course.
And he goes and walks to the desk and he's like, hello. He picks up the note.
Hello.
What does the note say?
Crow goes, would you like me to read it for you?
Would you like me to read it for you? And it's a recording of Lahstiel saying what she wrote out loud.
Oh!
Here's your theology book. Thanks for sharing, and if you ever need anything, just let me know. Get some rest, and I'll see you tomorrow/today. Smiley face with a tree.
Flynn starts crying.
Oh.
But then as he's crying, Rotary like wipes the tears and then he turns around and he sees that he left his chest open and he goes, shit. And he grabs his spell books, he drops them in his chest, slams the chest closed, and then jumps into bed.